Grace Olalaide from Testify TV, and here is your news of the week. The headlines: future of religion in Britain is Islam and black majority churches. Do church bells violate human rights? One Austrian thinks so. Nigerian Christians fear more violence after election postponement. Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers seeks divine help from the Vatican.
Everyone involved in ministry needs to continually discover fresh ways to carry out the work of God and communicate God's unchanging message. That's why Testify newspaper is hosting a highly informative conference at the Christian Resources Exhibition in Excel, London, featuring great speakers and teachers such as Pastor Wale Olulana, Apostle Alfred Williams, Bishop Paul Fadeyi, Bishop Michael Hutton Wood, Dr. Oliver Manyemba, Pastor Lola Oyebade, Pastor Shegun Adenuga, and Reverend Gavin Jacobs. Come to the Christian Resources Exhibition at Excel in London from the 19th through the 22nd of May 2015. Gain valuable insight about leadership and church management, pastoral ministry, community development, prayer and personal development, visions and values, relationships and social responsibility, plus much more.
Future of religion in Britain is Islam and black majority churches. Professor David Roas, who specialises in population studies at Essex University, says that the future of religion in Britain is to be found in Islam and the black majority churches. He says Muslims already contribute 10% of British births. Within several decades, people of Muslim heritage will form 10% of the population, even if immigration came to an abrupt halt tomorrow. Professor Roas says the issue is not why people are staying away from church, but why anyone would want to go to church. The onus is on churches to offer something that people want and would have difficulty finding anywhere else. He says it's more about community than religion, and the problem is that some local churches are not especially attractive. While about half of English people born early in the 20th century still declare their affiliation to the Church of England, just 1 in 20 of those born at the end of the century do so. All Protestant denominations are similarly affected. However, the figures for attendance of black majority churches suggest strong growth. The Redeemed Christian Church of God has planted over 300 churches in the past 5 years. New and growing independent black majority churches are showing up in many parts of the country, especially in London. At least 5,000 new congregations have started in Britain since the 1980s, mostly from new churches. Do church bells violate human rights? Well, one Austrian thinks so. Austrian architect Wolfgang Lassie says he hasn't been able to get a good night's rest for years because the church bell wakes him up at night. Well, that's because for hundreds of years, the church bells of Linz were allowed to chime at night, disrupting many residents' sleep. Now, Lassie, who lives about 250 feet away from Mariendam Cathedral, which houses the bells, is seeking to end the centuries-old practice. According to Lassie's lawyers, he had tried to resolve the problem for 2 years before he decided to take his concerns to court last December, when it became clear that the local church's representatives would not simply stop the bells without a holy or judicial order to do so. The Austrian has sued the Catholic Church in Linz for the violation of his human right to sleep in without disturbances at night, and has even expressed his deep discontent in a letter to Pope Francis. So far, he hasn't heard back from the Holy See. Nigerian Christians fear more violence after election postponement. Christians in Nigeria fear more deadly violence after the government postponed elections over security concerns as the military tries to regain territories currently held by Islamic militants. Boko Haram is a threat to peace in northern Nigeria and neighboring countries including Cameroon and Chad. Officials estimate that some 3 million people are affected by the humanitarian crisis caused by the 5-year insurgency, and thousands, including many Christians, have been killed. Recently, the Union of African Nations concluded a 3-day conference in Cameroon's capital city of Yaoundé to finalize details for a 7,500-member multinational force to fight Boko Haram. Amid the political and military tensions, Christians have reason to remain concerned. After the last election in Nigeria, following Buhari's loss to Jonathan in the 2011 elections, Islamic radicals, primarily in the north, committed a massacre against their Christian neighbors, burning down more than 700 churches and destroying more than 300 Christian homes and businesses. The International Christian Concern, ICC, a major advocacy group, declared that in all, more than 800 people died as a result of that violence. Northeastern states, including Borno, Bauchi, Adamawa, and Yobe, remain under a state of emergency heading into the elections. Regardless of the postponement, we remain concerned for the safety and security of the Nigerians in the upcoming general elections, said ICC's Regional Manager for Africa, Cameron Thomas. Liverpool Football Club manager Brendan Rodgers' swift exit from the stadium after the 3-2 win over Tottenham appears to have a divine connection. Brendan Rodgers did not attend the post-match press conference, handing over media duties to his assistant Colin Pascoe. And when Liverpool's assistant coach was asked about his boss's whereabouts, he said he had to shoot off to Europe on an official business. However, a photograph has now emerged online of Rodgers wearing dark sunglasses, posing with a fan outside the Vatican. Speculation suggests that he might be seeking for God's blessing as he aims to sign Roma midfielder Miralem Pjanic. Well, who says you can't mix faith with your work? On this note, I'll say thank you for watching Testify TV. Goodbye.